Crafty family. It's early in the morning and I thought it was perfect timing while it's nice and quiet to put this tutorial finally together. I have been working on all of the components to create another one of these journal pocket books. I had a request from one of my followers to put a tutorial together on how to actually make this into a book. So what I have today is I have some pages that I've already put together. I have all of the inserts and everything all ready to go. And so I'm just gonna show you how I take the piece from the journal pocket set and make it into the hinge to attach it. Oh, of course you're gonna get all caught up, right? To attach it to the spine. So what I did when I was cutting out all of the pieces of this, if I had like a longer strip, I would just take it and I would lay it across just this part right here and run that through the die machine. And the nice thing is you can do 2 at a time to get all of those. And those come out looking like this. So you get, I mean, you can see how it fits on here like that. And so you're gonna want one of those for each page of the book, including the cover and the back cover, the front cover and the back cover. So you can see I've already attached those here and here. So those are already attached. I'm gonna show you how I do that. And then I have my, my spine here, and the spine measures, I think it's 5 inches. Is that right? Let's see. 5.5 inches by, and this is where it gets kind of tricky, a 1/2 inch for each page of your book -1. And the reason it's -1 is because you're going to overlap one of the hinges. So you're gonna have one that goes this way and one that goes this way. Otherwise you're going to have a big space like that for the cover, if that makes sense. But I will show that to you when I put it all together. So this is my original one, and I just have it here to be like, this is what we're making, people, so you know what we're getting into before we get going. So I'm going to start. So it's this right here. That's why I have this out. And then I used a lot of other dies, but the only other one that's like kind of a necessity is this heart doily circle nesting die from Scrap Diva also. And these will be linked, I mean, everything will be linked below. I used a lot of the flowers this time for my embellishments from Scrap Diva Designs, but everything will be linked below, and you can use code URBAN10 to save 10% on any and all of the dies that you buy from Scrap Diva. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna start with the cover page, and the cover page is different because it is actually 2 of these with the window in it. So you're gonna have one of those on the front and one of those on the back. So when you put it together, you'll have a window that goes all the way through on both sides. And then so you'll have to cut out a total of 4 of those. Sorry about my rude dog back there. She comes in and she's making all kinds of bodily noises. Oh, and then look at this page. Is this cute? I mean, I just love this. This was my favorite page in this book that I made, but I just accidentally made an extra pocket, so I'm not going to be using that one. Wah, wah. Do I want to use it instead of this one? No, I want to use that one. I like this one. I like the all good things are wild and free on there. Okay, so enough lollygagging, let's get to it. Okay, so I've got my piece that I've cut here, and this one, and I try to kind of match the colors of the paper to, like for this one, it's for that piece, and for this one, it's the blues. And it's not exactly super pretty on that side, but oh well. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim this, and I'm just gonna trim it to this line right here where the window is, so there's just not a bunch of excessive paper right there. So just pull that down, and then I'm gonna get rid of this little tail that's right here. I don't want that piece on there. Not for any specific reason other than I just don't want it. Okay? Okay. All right. And then I'm gonna take, it doesn't matter which one is the front, which one is the back, honestly. I'm gonna take one of these and I'm just gonna completely glue down all of these. If you accidentally don't glue these flaps down, not a huge deal, but when you're sliding your pieces in, it can make it so that they wanna catch up. My pin does not wanna come out of here. Especially when you get to here and you have these two, you know, as a paper crafter, I'm sure you know, you have these two, the paper will like manage to find that little thin edge and won't go down any farther. So I'm gluing everything down first. Okay, I'm gonna need to get some pliers out so that I can get this needle out of here. There we go, thank you. Was that so hard now? I bought a set of just plain pins that are non-rusting, and I use those because I was always losing the one that I got from the companies, you know, the fancy ones, and I was like, I'm just gonna buy a bunch of just stainless steel pins. And so I have this whole drawer in my craft area of stainless steel pins, so when I lose one pin, I'm like, oh, I have others right here. And when the other one turns up, I just throw it into the drawer. And I've already have this embellished and everything, which complicates things a tiny bit just because I'm having to burnish it down. And that doesn't always work when you've got elements that are not flat on there. I kind of impulsively bought these little pink flowers off of AliExpress, and I end up using them constantly. They're just a nice little flower to have. Obviously I need to burnish the bottom down a little bit better because it's popping up. I'll get there. And then this one is called the Edge Flower from Scrap Diva. And then this is one of the flowers, or this is one of the flowers that comes with the flower pot gift card holder. So I just ended up cutting, like every flower that I have from Scrap Diva is pretty much represented in this, except for just like a couple. Okay, so we're glued down now, right there. And now I'm gonna take this right here and I'm gonna fold it, and I'm gonna fold it on the crease, not the stitching lines. Right there, burnish that down, and then I'm just gonna take this, and you do have to pay attention to what side you want on where. So trying to decide which one I want as the front. I like them both. It's so hard. This is going to be the back cover. So this has more that needs to be protected because that's two flowers, not one. So I think I'll do this one for the inside. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this on this side so that it that will be on the inside front or inside back cover. Glue it up, nice little coating, and then I'm just gonna lay that down right on top of it like that. And now I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna burnish my edges again, because while I was doing all the embellishing, you know, things unburnish, kind of flatten out a little bit. And another thing I really like to do is to wipe the inside with a clean cloth before I get to the gluing, because cleaning the inside of your acetate is tricky after it's glued together. And then if I do that, then I'm not paranoid all the time that is it on the inside or the outside? Inside or outside? I know I cleaned it, so it's probably on the outside. Okay, so just gonna line this up, make sure that my scoop is right. Burnish that down. Okay, and then I'm just gonna keep on doing the same thing, get all of our sides glued together for our pocket. All right, so I am a teacher, and tomorrow is finally my last day of school, Monday, June 26th. I feel like I've been going to school forever. It's like I don't even have curriculum to teach my students anymore. I'm just like, what else can we do? And just pulling stuff out of the hat. I mean, not really, but just like get real creative at the end of the year when you run out of all your actual curriculum. Like, I've taught everything. What am I supposed to do? So I'm pretty thankful that tomorrow's it. We're finally going to be done. Have some little strings here. There we go. So this will be the back cover, and then you can see the little hinge here ready to get glued on. So I'm going to set that aside, and of course there will be a little card inside that, and I'll show you that in a little bit. Just trying to make sure that we're actually really glued down here. So hard when there's, like I said, when there's those like dimensional elements on there, trying to burnish everything down. But I just wanted to have everything done as much as possible before I made the video so it would go quickly. Otherwise this video would take an hour easily. It's taken me like the full week, or a full week and a half or 2 weeks just to get this ready to go. So to make the video. Okay, so this is going to be the front. I want that on the yellow. Oops. Then this is going to be the first page of the book, because I do love this page so much. I think it turned out really pretty. And then this will be on the back. All right. So once again, I'm going to trim this down. And to make these pages, I'll show you the die that I use for, come on, cooperate please. Cooperate. When you're just cutting like the tiniest little bit off. Oh, it's all over the place. So the die pieces used for this part, obviously it's one of these for the hinge. And then this is the foundation page right here. And then this right here is the pocket page. This guy is just like this pocket right here. I just took a piece of paper, laid it on there, and then just trimmed it. So to make that diagonal cut. This right here is actually the window that's cut out of this one. And then a lot of the other squares that I used for these little pockets are from when I cut, whoops, when I cut that out, the outside trim, and it's this part of the square. So if you're wondering like how those came to be, and then I just took my circle punch and chopped a little bit out and then ran a seam around it. I love to use my sewing machine for added. Okay, so I'm gonna cut that off. I'm gonna cut that off. You may wonder why. It's because if you don't, like this is smaller, so it kind of sticks out a little bit. And I like to have it behind the pockets as much as possible. So I'm just gonna glue, well, first I'm gonna fold. And sometimes, like I said, it wants to fold sometimes on the little stitching detail. And so you just have to make sure that you don't do that. And then I'm gonna glue this down, and you can see this one matches this paper perfectly. So both sides of it look great. And then I'm just gonna make sure that I center it. That. Oops. I hate it when I start to press it down and it moves. And I just like to do it against the fold because it makes sure that it's really even Steven. And then burnish it down. All right. This ended up being my favorite pattern from this collection. You know, like I thought this was my favorite pattern. This is called Wildflowers. It's from Simple Stories. And I don't want to say it's retired, but it's not super easy to find. So I think it's like on the way out. I managed to find enough of it from the Frank Garcia studio online, which I love to order from them because, oh, this is old, because it's free shipping as long as you spend like 50 bucks, or how much do you have to spend? 15%. Oh, this is different. So free ship is their code to get free shipping. I don't know if it's, you have to spend 50 or 75, but anyway, you get free shipping from them. And that's not the way it is with every single, what's it called? Paper company. And I don't buy a lot in person. I live in the Seattle area. We have plenty of craft stores and stuff, but there's just such a better selection online. But yeah, I don't know why I went into that. But I just happened to go on the Frank Garcia studio for something. I don't remember what it was. And then I just ended up buying this and like this strawberry kind of thing strawberry kind of pattern. And then I also ended up getting something else. I don't remember what that was. I don't even know where it is anymore. Oh, Tamara, that's not good. What was it? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I actually like put it away when I got it because I just had too much stuff kind of lingering around my workspace. I was like, I'm putting this one away because I wanted to work with this one immediately. But now I don't remember what it was. How funny. But you know, when I'm shopping, I need it. Oh my gosh, do I ever need it? But I like to go on the Frank Garcia because I do love the Prima papers. And of course, you know, since they are designed by the Frank Garcia, I end up buying a lot of them, or not all of them are designed by Frank Garcia. So anyway, that easy. So I just glued that right on top of that, and look, you can hardly even notice where the hinge is. And then I'm gonna do the back side. Oh, I should have done the back side first because it's flatter. Oh, Tamara. See, sometimes I just don't think about these things until. And obviously, I'm just going around the edge because I'm gonna be sliding some papers into this. So you don't wanna glue the top. I know it seems obvious, but do you know what? Yesterday when I was prepping, I almost started gluing the tops of them down. And so it's worth mentioning because you just get into like machine mode, you know, where you're like just moving forward, and maybe you're watching your true crime documentaries like me and you're just cruising along and all of a sudden you're like, shoot, I just put a whole bunch of glue where I shouldn't put glue. Okay, so now I'm gonna very carefully try to put this on and then burnish it down. I hate getting glue all over my fingers, but it's just like a necessary evil of being a crafter is you just get glue everywhere. And I'm always like this. And I can tell when I've been working a lot because my fingers will actually get sore from rubbing off all the glue. And I realized recently I should get like a cloth that I just leave over here, like, or paper towel or something that I can just wipe off the edge, because I do a lot of this to get the glue out, and then I wipe it on my finger and then rub it off and like roll it off. And that's what makes my fingers sore. Okay, aren't you glad you know that? I know you are. This die set, this journal pocket die, I was like, oh, this is gonna be kind of fun. It's ended up being one of those ones where I use it a lot and really, really like it. So it has a lot of different potentials to it. And like lots of different applications of things you can do. You can make it into cards. You can just do it as is and put like a little tag collection in it. I've seen people use it as packaging. And then when I saw, I think it was Marissa Pink Ape made this, I was like, it just found its home with me. Like this is lifestyle now. Okay, so I'm gonna start putting it together. This is pretty easy part. Before I do that, I'm gonna put my little, squish my little holes down, the pokey outies as I call them. I don't like it when they're poking out, but I just feel like it's gonna make it adhere a little better. And then this, I just took this piece of cardstock, covered it with the paper, and then covered this too. I didn't want any of the cardstock to show through, so I just made sure to do that. And then throw a little stitch around it because I do love the stitching. Okay, so let me real quick organize and see how I want this to go together. So this is the first page. Maybe I'll do this as page 2. No, I'm gonna do this as page 2, just because I have a lot of these kinds of little slide pockets. And then we'll do this one to this, that, and then we have that. Okay, that works great. All right, so first things first, I'm just gonna put some glue onto this right here. This is the back cover. I'm gonna start from the back and work to the front. Just spreading out my glue really good. And I'm just gonna put that right on the edge like that. And you'll notice that this and this are hanging over. That's the plan, man. It is not, we're focused on the length of the hinge, not the length of the whole book for the spine. All right, so we've got my first piece on. Now, I am going to take this and lay that, glue that right on top of that hinge. Otherwise, we're gonna have a whole inch gap if I go like that. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's why we're just gonna pile that up and make that go on top of that one. And this book is going to get chubby. So as we work, it's going to get a little bit more and more challenging, but that's okay. You know, we can do it. We are expert level crafters, right? Right. We can do anything. So I'm just gonna line that up there. Okay, there we go. And burnish, burnish, burnish. I'm actually gonna get a different, ooh, my other burnishing tool is MIA. Has like a nice flat edge right there that I was thinking on this end that would work really well. So we've got 2 pages so far. Next, let's go ahead and put this one. Glue it down. This is super easy, not difficult, but you know, it's always nice to watch somebody else do something so that you can kind of feel confident. I didn't want you to have to watch a whole bunch of repetition, so you can fast forward this if you don't want to watch it all. But then you're gonna miss out on the entertainment of me. Oh my gosh. The entertainment of me. That's funny. And because there is a 1/2 inch gusset between each page, like I went for it when I was embellishing with all of the blooms. I was like, yep, that's what we're doing. We're putting a lot of flowers down because we had so much space. Like you can really go ham with doing lots of dimensional fun stuff on here. And this is a fun one because the book can look so pretty, but it's also super duper functional. You can put pictures in those windows if you want to, and then each of the pockets has, I put a blank page in it. So, sorry, can't talk and craft at the same time. I put a blank page in it so you can pull it out and write in it instead of having to write directly in the book. I really like that. Oh, I love this circle die. It's supposed to be a shaker, but I really like it just like that. I think it looks really pretty. Just as like a little frame thing with a pretty cutout in the middle. Okay, now for this guy. And if you are bothered by the inconsistent color of the gusset, you can take little 1/2-inch strips and glue them over the top of each of these little pages and it will look pretty. So if that's something that irritates you or that you want to change about this, go for it. Because look, there's pink, there's blue, there's tigers, there's stripes. So there's something for each page. So if that's not your jam, change it, make it into your jam and rock it. Okay, and we're up to the last page, which is my front cover. And then all that's left to do is stuff the pages with all of the little journal cards. And I always buy the cut apart cards and the tags, and then like I buy excessive, like 2 pages worth of them, but I never use them. That's the same for this one. And this one, I am going to go all the way out to the edge no matter what, just because I don't want that to stick out farther than it needs to. And I'm just noting for next time, I don't need to make it quite as wide. I can make it a tiny bit smaller than it needs to be. Because look, see, I have some extra space there, but that's not something that's super noticeable. And like I said, if it bothers you, oops, I just got some glue on there, I hate that. Just go in and glue a little strip to make it like consistent, and nobody will ever be the wiser. And there we have our little book. Boop, 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 boop. Sorry, I was being abusive of that flower. The belly band, I just ran 1 strip of paper through the pocket. I'm trying to think of anything else I need to talk about. This, I actually did, I ran it through the top part of the pocket, like this part right here. And then for the bottom one, I ran it through a second time, just making sure to get those corners to match the page. Yeah, I think that's everything that I needed to note. All right, so I have these little cards, just like this. I like the shabby chicness of them. Do I want that one in front? Yeah, I think I want this one in front. And if this is a little bit sticky, all you need to do with your pockets is take your boning tool and just run it down in there and it will clear right up, or open right up. So that's how that one looks. And then this one, let's see. Do I like that? I don't want it like that. Yeah, I think I want the pink on the back because there is no pink on the back, and I love the pink yellow combo. So just, okay. I like to use the boning tool rather than what's actually sliding down in there because I don't want to wreck whatever I'm sliding down in there. See, look how pretty that looks. Once you get those in, they're just lovely. It's so pretty. Okay. Get to work, Tamara. So I have each of these measures, what is it? 5.5 by 3.5. And they can go in any old way. And then here's where that heart doily, nesting doily or whatever it's called goes, is just on the top of that to make it a little cutesified. Come on now. Cooperate. And this is where you get a lot of the fluffiness. Like it just looks so cute with all that stuff just sticking out the top. Oh, I don't want that one. I'm gonna try not to match like the same. I mean, you can, it doesn't matter, but I don't want to. There we go. Something's going on there. Something's happening down near the bottom. It just gets really tight down there. I guess it's just tight. Ugh. Okay, there we go. the blue one down in here. This is some of my dad's ruffles that he made for me. He was the cutest. Once he found out that I liked to have the ruffles, he was on the hunt for woven fabric so he could make me ruffles. And he would sit around while my mom was sewing her quilts. My dad would be up next to her on his machine just sewing ruffles for his daughter. I thought it was just the cutest thing. And after he passed away, I found this whole box that he was getting ready to send to me for Valentine's Day. It was my Valentine, so I got to bring those home. And you would think I wouldn't use them because I would just be hanging on to it for like memory's sake, but I am using them because that's what they were intended for. But it makes me smile whenever I am using those. Boy, these are really tight in here this time. It was not this tight for the other book. I'm like, what is the difference? What is going on? But they don't want to slide in here, do they? Come on, go in there. What is the deal? There we go. Holy cannoli. You just slide that right out and slide it back in and you have a little no, it's not just slide it out and then, you know, before I even try, I'm gonna slide this down in here and try to loosen it up a little bit, for goodness sake. Okay, can we do it? Can we do it? Please tell me we can. And I even used, this is 120-pound weight paper this time so that it would go down. What is going on here? Like, is there something in there? Like, is there a thread? But like, these are glued, not sewn, so there shouldn't be like a thread in there. Okay, so maybe you want to make yours a little more narrow than I made mine, because oh my Lanta, this is not super duper fun. Okay, look at that one. She just goes in there. That's my favorite student right there. Okay, and then these are just like, I have some different sized ones. So these little intsies, they are going into these pockets like this, right there. And you're gonna go there, and look at those. They're just sliding right in there, no problem. Thank you for that. Oh my gosh. And this is gonna go here. And I really liked the sideways pocket for these on my last one. I have so many vertical pockets, but I really liked that it added that texture like that as well. And then you're going here, and let's see, I'm trying to remember. I think this one goes here. I had to measure all these special for all these different little pockets. Shorty goes here, and then there's a taller one. So that would go there. Is that where that goes? Looks good to me. And then we get a taller one here. Oh, and then I just have a spare. Oh no, I don't. It goes here. Ooh, that's tight. We're gonna switcheroo that. See if this one fits better over here. Oh, why aren't we turning there? I think. So I glued that down. Just gonna take my finger blade and I'm gonna cut that so that I have some forgiveness there. There. There we go, like that. Okay. And now you can see all of the fluff that's on top and on the side. Obviously, this needs to be cleaned off on the outside. But let's just take a walk through real quick of this one. And look at, you know, we didn't have a project, or we didn't have a finished product before. And now we do, and look how cute it is. There's so much texture. It's just so pretty with all those flowers in there. This is the foam flower, edge flower. This is the Sakura flower. These are the capsian leaves. I can't remember what those are called. Capsian? I think of Prince Caspian from the Narnia series. This is the bow bag topper. This is the Ladybug, Heart Ladybug, and I just made it into more like a locket kind of thing for that one. The butterfly bow, which I love. And then this, like I already talked about those flowers. And this flower is also from the flower pot gift card holder. So yeah, there we go. We're finished. And thanks for sticking around with me while I got through the drama of putting those journaling cards in there. And like I said, everything will be below, will be linked below, and use code URBAN10 if you'd like to save 10%. And have a wonderful day. And if you choose to make one of these, be sure to tag me in it so I can see what you came up with, because it's always fun to see what other people create. Have a wonderful day.